Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm actually just heading out. And I remember there was a video that I've been meaning to do for you guys for a pretty long time, and I just haven't had the time to do it. So I thought, why not? So yeah, today's video, because I recently just went to Ghana, and I thought before I kind of give you guys contents and videos to watch, I wanted to just quickly do this video, things about Ghana. Obviously I've done a few videos in relation to that, but I travel more and more. There are things that I discover by myself and also things that I do research on. So I'm just going to add a little bit of things that I've already shared with you guys. I'm going to tag that previous video onto this one just so that you can take a look and kind of go through essentials, things to know about Ghana before you travel. Because it's pretty handy before you travel, because in case something happens, it's like going to a country where you don't know the rules, the laws and certain things about the country, and you end up being a bit of a trouble. There are times where I have been to Ghana and there were things that I didn't know, so I thought I'll save you guys the trip, kind of like save you guys and make it a little bit easy for you. So I've made a lot of lists just so that I don't forget. So if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my list. So just bear with me a second. So as I said, there's a lot of these things that you guys already know if you've been to Ghana before, or if you've done any research on Ghana. There's a lot of these things that you already know. I'm just adding things that I've come across as I travel. And I'm going to be very quick with it. So as we all know, I'm going to go with the basics, start with the basics. As we all know, things to know about Ghana before you travel, essential things to know. You need your passport, and you need to make sure that it's 6 months. It needs to be at least 6 months valid before you can travel. And what I'll suggest is that you can scan your passport into your email in case you lose your passport. Then it'll be easy for you to access that. You need to have a yellow fever certificate. Yellow fever certificate is something that is required in Ghana before you travel, and anybody from 9 months old can have that. They give you a yellow certificate, and apparently right now it lasts for up to 20 years. So you need that before you travel, and they will ask for it. They'll ask to see it when you arrive in Ghana, and before you're coming back, they always ask for it. So make sure you have that. So basically, most nationals require a visa to enter Ghana as a tourist. So if you're not Ghanaian, you need a visa. And it will be easier for you to do that prior to your travel. You make sure that you have enough time to apply for this visa, and usually it takes, the standard one takes about 2 weeks, and then you can pay extra for like the 72 hours visa that you can get. But you make sure that you apply for this before you travel, because if you travel and you come to Ghana, it's a lot more expensive. So just bear that in mind. Overstaying without the proper authority can lead to detention. So make sure that all your paperwork is legit and on point before you travel, so you don't encounter any problems. The next one is travel insurance. I would recommend you guys to have travel insurance. Usually when I travel, I make sure that I take travel insurance, but recently when I traveled, I didn't do that, and there was a case of me having to lose my luggage, which kind of became a huge issue. But yeah, Make sure that you have your travel insurance, especially during this COVID. Make sure that you cover yourself in case anything happens. Nobody knows what will happen in the future, or as we travel or whatever. Anything can happen. So make sure that you have your travel insurance just to cover yourself, medically, and anything else. Vaccines. I'm not a fan of vaccines, but in the past I've had certain vaccines that is needed to travel. You don't have to, but they kind of advise you to have these vaccines. Yellow fever is the main one that is required before you travel, but then the other ones, kind of like for rabies, which is coming in contact with animals. You have the typhoid, which is the food and water, and then you have the hepatitis A and B, which is for like blood and body fluids. Those ones, especially if you've not been to Ghana before and you're not used to the environment and everything like that, I would suggest that you have these vaccines done. Or maybe take mosquito tablets, malaria tablets, kind of before you travel, during your visit, and also after when you come back, just to prevent your mosquito bites, because they love to suck a bit of blood, honestly. So usually try and visit your GP, your clinic, kind of like 6 to 8 weeks before you travel. And then just make sure that you're up to date with your vaccines. So let's get into it. So I've got runny eyes. So what I've got on here is that being so close to the equator, the sun is very, very, very strong. Especially I find that in kind of like around Easter, it gets a little bit too hot and unbearable. Very, very, very strong, and you can easily burn. So if you have sensitive skin, make sure that you take kind of like sunscreen with you, kind of you cover yourself. Try and stay out of the heat kind of during the day, and then go out maybe like after 4 p.m. or something like that. Tap water isn't safe. You have the sachet water where you can buy the very cheap option of water that you can buy, or you can buy the bottle ones. I would recommend you buy the water from the bottle. The pure water that they call isn't, sometimes I drink it, but it isn't really, I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, sometimes I drink it. The Hamatan wind, right, blows down from the Sahara around mid-November to March, and it's unpleasantly very dry, and you may experience kind of like tickling throat, dry lips, dry skin, and stuff like that. So if you wear contact lenses, you might have to carry eye drops and lip balms, because it can get pretty dry, and because they're so used to the sun, they easily get cold just because of that wind that blows, which to me is so nice and cooling, because I've been so used to that kind of weather, and the heat was just too much for me. So when I get that kind of breeze, I love it. But obviously they get cold because they've been so used to the heat. Anyway, so Ghana is generally safe, but be careful of pickpocketing, petty theft, and also be careful not to flash expensive jewelry in your phones and your cameras and devices, and also try and carry less cash. Also try and avoid walking alone at night. It's pretty dangerous. Ghanaians are very friendly, but then there's that one or two people who kind of spoils it for the country. There's crime everywhere in every country. This doesn't make, I'm not trying to bring my people down, but I have to be honest and say these things do happen. So just be very, very careful. Walking out alone at night, do not attempt to do that. Sometimes I do that. But do not attempt to do that. And also carrying less cash around, and don't be flashing your devices and things like that, especially in the Makala market. I witnessed somebody in a car, in a taxi, stuck in traffic, The window was open and he was actually on the phone, and somebody just went past on a motorbike and just snatched the phone out of their hands. So you need to be very, very careful when you're on the phone, when you're in public and on your phone and kind of with your devices, stuff like that, you know. So usually when I get in a taxi or something and I'm on the phone, I always get somebody who I don't know telling me to be very, very careful how I'm holding the phone by the window and stuff like that. So be very, very careful about that. The next one is the beaches are maybe very, very beautiful, but the ocean along the coastline has very strong current undertows. Check that it is safe before you swim. Check that it is safe before you dive in. You know, just to be sure, ask people around you to make sure that swimming in a certain river or beach or lake is safe before you do so. Don't just assume every beach is okay to swim in. You know, always check. Okay, so when it comes to mosquitoes, right, mosquito nets and repellents, unless you're staying in an aircon hotel or a house, make sure you have mosquito repellents, make sure you have mosquito tablets. Like I said earlier, it's a good idea to bring your own mosquito nets if you're going to be in an area that's going to be, you know, full of a lot of mosquitoes. Ghana is also a sub-Saharan Africa where malaria means business. They do. Like every time I go, they always find a way of biting me really, really badly. I mean, the next video I'm going to show you of me going back to Ghana, you're going to see the bruises and the bites on my legs. Honestly, they don't fear. They're just like, ooh, fresh blood. I'm going to suck. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So just make sure that you are very, very, very careful. And the best way to prevent is avoid getting bitten by a mosquito. That's really, really hard because it's not every time that you're going to be able to avoid that, but do try and prevent. I personally don't like buying repellents where I am before I travel to Ghana. I like to buy it when I get to Ghana. Do you know why? Because obviously Ghana is where the mosquitoes are. So obviously there are aspects of developing or making this repellents which will obviously be stronger enough to kill these mosquitoes. You get what I mean? So I think that it's easier to buy it when you go to Ghana because it will be much stronger than the ones that they have abroad, because I have used the ones abroad and they did nothing for me. So since then I've been buying when I go to Ghana, and I like the one that I use. So I've been sticking to that. Comfort is the key when it comes to shoes. Ghana, you'll be doing a lot of walking. I find myself doing a lot of walking to different places. I love walking around in Ghana. Not especially in the heat though, because you can be like sweating like a pig. But I love to walk everywhere, like in the market, in like, you know, trademark places, to visit friends and places. I like to walk a lot. So you need very comfortable shoes on. You need, you know, kind of like trainers. You need flip-flops. You know, a lot of homes in Ghana practice the idea of taking off their outside shoes before they enter into a house, you know. So flip-flops are pretty easy, cozy. They are great for the shower. And if you are iffy about feet like I am in strange places, flip-flops are good to go. You can wear it, take it off easily. I have this habit of not stepping on wet floors. It kind of goes through me. So if I have a slippers, flip-flops, that's pretty easy for me to just put it on, you know. Adapters for your phone and devices are pretty overpriced abroad. So make sure, not just abroad, even at the airport as well. So make sure that you have all these things packed in advance. Otherwise you kick yourself in the butt if you have to, you know, fish out and buy a pretty expensive adapters just because you forgot, you know. So make sure that you have everything ready before you travel. So I've said this before in my previous video, but it's something that keeps reoccurring, something that keeps happening. We have doom saws. Doom souls means light on, light off in Ghana. You could be sitting there, the light will be off. You could be sitting there, the light will be on. Sometimes you don't know when it's going to come back on. And it's like that with running water as well. You could be there and the tap will be turned off. You'll be able to have running water for sometimes a week, you know. So once they open the taps, people tend to kind of, you know, fill up, you know, the containers and things, just in case it goes off again. Wi-Fi is also a huge issue. It could top up something that you think will last you for a month, and that would only last you a few days. So it's pretty fishy how the Wi-Fi and the internet works in Ghana, honestly. So just bear those things in mind. Pay attention to what you wear. Pay attention to what you wear. Every time I go to Ghana, there's always, you know, you notice how people dress, including myself. Also depends what area you're going to and how people in that area dress. You have to be very cautious and vigilant, especially in the Muslim areas. They like to cover themselves up, so try and avoid going to those areas exposing your shoulders, your tummy, your legs and thighs and things like that. It's a bit disrespectful, so just bear in mind other people's you know. In regards to the clothes as well, because it's so hot in Ghana, so if you wear something like this, kind of silky, something that attracts heat as well, just be very, very careful, especially if you're going to be walking around in the heat. You're going to feel like you're burning. You're going to feel like you're in a furnace, honestly. So just be very careful the kind of things you wear, at what time of the day. And also, please do a lot of research before you travel to Ghana, especially if it's your first time, you've never been before. Try and do your own research as well, because there are rules and laws in every country, and with it being especially Africa as well, there are things that they don't tolerate, things that, you know, you need to be aware of before you start walking around in certain places. Akwaba basically means welcome, and that's something you're going to be hearing a lot when you go to Ghana. Akwaba, 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 just welcoming you into the country and to wherever you step into. And or you just reply to it, and it's actually a pretty cool, I mean, African people, we Africans, we treat people with respect and we try to be as polite as possible. So we like to greet people, we like to just be friendly, you know. So when they welcome you, don't be taken aback, or don't be thinking like, I don't know you, what do you want, kind of thing. They're just trying to be polite. So all you just do is just reply back, basically. Osu is the main cultural hotspot in Accra, and it's attracting people to many boutiques, clubs, restaurants, and also the main street I usually go to is Oxford Street, which is one of the popular main streets that is so lively at night. So there's a lot of bars and clubs and restaurants and places open in that area as well, that, you know, obviously people hang out and chill, and it's always lively till the next day. So yeah, if you go to Osu, you'll see how lively it is. Street food is everywhere. Kele Wele has to be my favorite. There's a place just by Laboni Junction, not far from me, where I usually go and get some kelewele, some fried yam. Also, they do wache. Wache is a national treasure. Like, even in the morning, you can have wache. You could either have it as breakfast or lunch. Usually when I go, I have it for breakfast, you know. So wache is like rice and beans. You can have everything on it. I'm going to put like a little thing here for you guys to see. It's full of salad, meat, fish, plantain, gari, spaghetti, everything you could possibly think of. And it's one of the popular meals that we eat. So when you go, do try it if you've never had it before. Stay healthy by drinking a lot of bottled water rather than tap water, like I said. Fresh fruit is also ready cut to eat. There's a lot of fresh fruit in Ghana, organic, and usually they cut it for you if you want, or you can buy it and go and cut it yourself. But they do the ready-made cut ones, and you can just eat it as you go along. Very, very juicy. it's easy to explore the country if you have a local guide, just because of the language barrier for those who don't speak any language in Ghana. And I mean, Ghana, we speak English as well. But in case you want to talk to somebody who doesn't understand what you're saying, it's good to kind of get like a local guide just to take you around. And you can, obviously, you can learn more about the country and community easier with a local guide. Hissing means somebody wants your attention, Ghana. So if you have psst, psst, or like kind of like a whistle or something, people usually turn around. And hissing, I find, is somebody trying to call you over or trying to get your attention. Now, in some countries, you will say, excuse me, or call the person by the name, you know. But in Ghana, hissing is visually done. So somebody hissing at you, if you're not used to that, some people find it kind of rude. If you're not used to that, you probably find it offensive or whatever. But in Ghana, it's the way of them getting your attention if they don't know your name. Lizards are as common as squirrels. There's a lot of lizards everywhere climbing up trees, even pretty close to you when you're sitting down. So don't be alarmed. Pregnant women eat clay. Now, I didn't know this, but apparently it's true. It's apparently common. Others may crave a tub of ice cream that I know of, or pickled onions, but the clay apparently is dug up and is processed and sold in local market. I never knew this, honestly. Apparently it's called a yellow or shile, and apparently it's a remedy for pregnancy nausea. So I never knew that, honestly. I never knew. City currency is named after the seashells. Shell money known as cowrie was legal tender until the middle of 19th century. So the cedis in Akan language basically means cowrie shell. So you know how Canadians have kind of like ice hockey, and then you have the Indians and the Aussies and Pakistan, they have the cricket, and then you have the North Americans with basketball. That's how Ghanaians are with football or soccer. Ghanaians everywhere love a bit of a game of football or soccer. A lot of them support Barcelona and Madrid and all that stuff, but there's always a game going on in Ghana where people just love to sit and watch. Like, everybody gets so involved, they're so passionate about the game. I have a video that's coming up on some of the games that I've been to, so keep a lookout for that. And also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, just so that you can get notified of anything that I post. So yeah, soccer is a thing that they love, soccer music. Even kids are so involved in soccer. They like toys and things associated with balls, associated with football. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, I hope that helps you. If you want to know more, like I said, I'm going to tag the video below just so that you guys can, learn more of other things in that video that I've not mentioned. I don't want to keep repeating myself. So there's more things in that video and some things in this video as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys learned something you didn't know. If you have any more things that I haven't mentioned, please feel free to just drop it in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys very soon. Thanks so much for joining and stepping by and just clicking on my video. And I hope that you have a blessed week. Ciao. See you guys soon.